What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? Showing you with Asna Serpentarium. And as you can see, I got a little retic with me here today. This is actually my friend's retic. She's a baby. Jay, how old did you say she was?
2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah, she's only a couple of months old. You could probably hear her in the background. Absolutely gorgeous pattern. It's actually a normal type. And one thing that I really don't like about the retic market here is this animal. It's an animal that could potentially grow 16 to 18 foot because it is a girl. And my friend only actually paid £40 for it. So to me, someone walking into the show could see a snake and go, oh, it's only 40, 50 quid, it must be easy to keep, when the reality of it is not. These snakes are massively overbred, and they're not suitable for the majority of people that do actually keep them. They're not like Burms, okay? These are a different fish to fry entirely. They're a lot harder to keep. They're a lot more active. They can be a lot more aggressive than the Burmese. They do require you to really have your eye on the ball. As I've said, these animals are the longest snake species on the planet, and with reason. Then you do need a big enclosure. A lot of people keep these in 6x2s, but as an adult I don't feel that's enough for a retic. With that immense size, a 6x2 it's not going to be enough room to move around. Yeah, this isn't a hating on retics. I love retics. They're gorgeous animals. But if you have to get one, please, even if it's a baby, make sure you have the adult tank already bought. Okay, so you know exactly where you are. And please don't be fooled by the price tag, thinking that it's only a cheap snake, that it's going to be easy to look after. I've seen so many posts on Facebook of these ended up in canals or just dumped wherever in rescues, and it's just not right, really. It's such a gorgeous snake, but you've got to give them the time and respect. It's not something that you should take lightheartedly. But with these, there's plenty of colour patterns, and you know, even though there's plenty of colour patterns, the normal is gorgeous on its own. It really is a nice pattern. If you're going to go for a super dwarf or a dwarf, make sure you ask to see the parents. There's a lot of mainlands being sold as dwarfs, so that's something you need to bear in mind. And just because it's a dwarf doesn't mean that it's not going to get 10 plus foot. It really does make a massive difference on how big the parents are, what percentage it is dwarf or super dwarf, and how you feed it as well, okay? If you feed them like a mainland, they might not get quite as big as a mainland, but they can get 14 foot sometimes, especially depending on the percentage that it is. So that is something you need to keep in mind as well. I myself will be looking into getting a super dwarf in the future, but I will not buy any if I can't see the parents, and I will not buy any if I don't know what percentage super dwarf they are and what locality that super dwarf actually originated from. So there's a lot of stuff you need to bear in mind when buying a retic, whether that be mainland dwarf, super dwarf, or whatever. You need to do your homework. You should do your homework with any snake, really, but a retic isn't something you should just go out and impulse buy. It's not something you can just buy an off-the-shelf enclosure for. You know, you really do need to think about it. As far as feeding it then, at this sort of size, you're looking at probably a small mouse or a medium mouse every week. And then as it grows on, then you're going to feed it a bigger item, but not too big, because these are quite a slender species of snake. And you're going to do that every 2 weeks to a month, depending on the sex, the age, the weight, how the animal is looking. These are not supposed to be built like Burmese pythons or anacondas. These should be nice and lean like this snake is here. And the nice chunky head, okay? You shouldn't see one with a pin head or anything like that. That's a sign that the animal's either been power fed or it's obese, or both. feed them nice and slow, get a nice healthy snake, even if you want to breed it. If you're planning on breeding these, I wouldn't recommend it because they're so overbred, but if you are going to do it anyway, give them 6 to 8 years for a girl, okay, and really take your time with them. There's no rush at all. There's just no need to rush into it. Power feed your animal, and then it might be dead before it gets to 6 to 8 years anyway. Then if you do that, yeah. So if you want a snake that gets 6 to 8 foot, there are retics for you, but I would honestly probably prefer you got a boa, or maybe if it's your first giant snake, obviously you need to get a snake you like, but a Burmese python is a much more easy pet to keep, we'll say, because it's less, we'll say, intelligent than a retic. It can be a lot less bitey than a retic. Obviously anything with teeth can bite, but you get a lot more defensive retics the more you do defensive Burmese, so that's just worth bearing in mind. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, smash the notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.